How's it going, Aztecs fans? Philip Diana here reporting for KCR College Radio, bringing you another new episode of Beyond the Uniform, where we get to know our SDSU athletes and their stories. Today I caught up with Brian Leonhardt, a local San Diegan who is a redshirt sophomore pitcher and first baseman for the San Diego State baseball team. Brian and I discussed what made him choose SDSU, his favorite moment as a baseball player, academic goals, and how he stayed focused during the extended offseason. Coming out of high school, we'll start with this. You were a 4-year varsity baseball letterman and most valuable player at nearby Eastlake High School in Chula Vista, where you helped the Titans capture 3 league championships, a state title, and a CIF Open Division crown. Additionally, you were also a shooting guard for the basketball team, where you also acquired 2 MVP awards. So seeing that you've been successful in both baseball and basketball, what made you ultimately choose to take baseball to the college level?
Well, first of all, there wasn't an option for basketball. No college offers there for basketball, but it was a great time. I played with other baseball players were on the team as well. And honestly, the success in basketball just came from, we weren't like the best team, but we had such a good team camaraderie where everybody loved each other because we all grew up together playing. So for that side of things, basketball was an option to play college, even though I loved it so much. Baseball has always been my main sport for sure.
What do you hope to accomplish in the sport of baseball?
There's a lot. I mean, the list goes on and on. Number one priority right now is to take SDSU to Omaha and hope we can try to win national championship.
That's a good goal to have right there. That's seems to be the common denominator with all the baseball players so far. Omaha is the goal, and that's where you want to be, especially to get your program the recognition it deserves.
For sure.
And during your 2019 freshman campaign here at SDSU, you hit .272 in 48 games played, finished second on the team with 14 doubles, and third with 34 RBIs, while posting a team-high .389 batting average with runners in scoring position, picking up 16 two-out RBIs. What would you say contributes to your success on the field?
I would just say the people around me, we have a great coaching staff and great leaders in the program that taught me the right way on how to do things right. And just listening to people around you helped to all my success. There's plenty of things I've learned throughout my years at SDSU that come from either teammates, from coaches or alumni even. And just taking in all that information and putting it to work helps with the success on the field.
What skill set do you feel is the most important for a baseball player to possess?
I would just say being able to adjust. I mean, everything happens, in a bat could change. You could be saying fastball and somebody's not throwing fastballs anymore. You got to sit on an off-speed pitch, just being able to adjust to new options. Maybe the game plan doesn't work out. You got to adjust to the next one in order to win. So just being open-minded and learning from your mistakes to make you a better baseball player.
So with all that, do you have a favorite moment as a baseball player? Like, was there a particular game at bat or a play that stands out to you?
Yeah, probably Oregon State last year. That series, the whole series was great, but the last game, we went down 6-2 the inning prior. I was playing first that game, and I remember it was 4-2, and a guy, I believe it was a 2-run shot. I saw it fly over my head, and it was a controversial game, so we really wanted to win. The next inning, I got up with bases loaded and hit a grand slam to tie, and we ended up going on to win. So that was probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I remember watching that grand slam. Actually, it was a very great hit, and it was at the perfect time against a great team in Oregon State. I mean, they just came off a College World Series, and here's Brian Leonhardt hitting a grand slam to upset him right there.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, that was a great at bat. I totally agree with you there. Like, as far as what I've seen, that was pretty surreal. I can only imagine what it would have been like to be the guy that hit that ball and see it go that far in that situation.
Yeah, it didn't really feel right at the moment. It didn't really hit me until I rounded third and I seen everybody out of the dugout. Then my emotions went crazy.
I I bet that's a great moment for any baseball player. You were also recruited by the University of San Diego, or University of Oregon, Cal Poly, and Arizona State, which are all very good schools, but you ultimately chose to come to San Diego State. What made you want to continue your academic and athletic career here on the Mesa?
I mean, plenty of reasons. I mean, first reason is my family's here. You know, I'm from San Diego. I love it here. San Diego is such a beautiful place. And I grew up watching SDSU basketball and baseball and seeing people in front of me, like from younger years. I just always wanted to be like them. So it was pretty much an easy choice for me to stay home.
Yeah, I agree, and it's a great school. We're glad you're out there competing and helping SDSU achieve that goal of Omaha. And I see that on the SDSU roster, your favorite baseball player is listed as Chicago Cubs third baseman and University of San Diego alum Chris Bryant. What is it about Chris Bryant that stands out to you?
Well, I was lucky enough when I was younger, I would say like 8 or 9. One of the coaches at USD coached me in travel ball. So I was the bat boy for 2 years of Chris Bryant playing there. So I got to know him pretty well from that, and the type of person he was. He's just the nicest guy, and so humble. You know, he was like one of the best to do it. I think he hit over 20 home runs that year, and you never heard him bragging about any of it. You know, it was always like, what can we do to win here? What do you need me to do to win? Like, he's all about the team, and I think that's a huge part, because if your team succeeds, that means people on the team will succeed later on in the future. So that, learning that from him, I just love the way he is as a person and want to be like him. So
Yeah, he's a great example of a baseball player. 2016 MVP, wins the World Series, ends that 108-year drought for the Cubs.
yeah,
It's so cool to be able to see that it's Chris Bryant, the guy we grew up watching here at USD. It's great to be able to see that. I agree. Chris Bryant is my favorite baseball player as well. So we
oh
can relate
sweet,
on that end. So I love Chris Bryant, all the guys, Steven Strasburg, another one, San Diego State grad. So got to stay local when it comes to that.
of course.
Who has been the most influential teacher or person in your life?
Uh, I would definitely have to say my dad. You know, my dad grew up playing sports as well. He played a little bit of football at Baker University. So he was always tough on me. You know, at a young age, it was hard to understand why he was always tough on me, but it was for a good reason. You know, he made me the person who I am today. You know, he taught me the right way on how to do things and never let me take shortcuts. So I would say my dad for sure.
That's a good answer there. You're behind every successful baseball player is usually that the set of parents, or a dad or mom that goes out there and supports them and gives everything for them. So likewise, we can relate on that. The dad important part, keeps you honest, keeps you doing things right, and it helps you so much.
Yeah, I couldn't thank my parents enough for what they've done for me for sure.
And I see that your dad and mom are also school teachers, and that you also are aspiring to be a school teacher. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of in my family. My aunt, she's a teacher as well. My parents are both teachers. My grandma was a teacher, so I mean, I kind of grew up around it, and I love just like my mom is just the best teacher out there. Like, she'll stay on calls with kids and help them, and I just like the whole idea of helping kids, you know, be better, whether it's in school, sports, or whatever. Just because growing up, I had a few teachers that, you know, just taught, and then that's what was it. And then the teachers that would, you know, say, hey, come in for lunch, or hey, come in at this time and I'll help you out. Like, I really appreciate those people. So I just want to be able to do that for kids later on in my life.
Being the teacher that you're going to be teaching some of these
Yeah.
young kids, is there something that you wish you could tell your younger self?
I mean, there's so much. But number one would probably be to not give up on anything. Like, it may seem hard at the time, but if I put in enough time of working on it, asking people for help, or whether it's in baseball, any sport, or in school, if you try to seek out help or really work on something your hardest so you can achieve it.
And if you could teach one subject in school, what would that subject be?
History, most likely. I love history. That's my major, social science. So there's a lot of history involved in that. So I would say history for sure.
That's interesting. We hope, well, if you're not on the baseball field, we hope that you helping the next generation grow up and teaching them the right way to do things.
Yes, that's the goal.
That is the goal, and if you can achieve that, I'm sure you can. And during these uncertain times that we're in right now, how have you been staying focused? And what was your quarantine experience like? Like, did you have access to a gym, a cage, a field? Like, how are you? How'd you handle that?
So I'm lucky enough that I have a full weight room set in my garage, and a batting cage in my backyard with machines and everything. So me and my little brother just took the quarantine, and try to make positives out of it. So every day we'd hit, work out. We even started putting turf mats out there to do like short hop drills, or we even started using it at the end to chip golf balls in our backyard because we got bored. So we made the quarantine as fun as possible for sure. I mean, we had all the tools to stay in shape for baseball. So we were lucky enough to be hitting every day off the machine, live arm, everything, because we could just throw to each other if anything. I also have a mound back there, so I was throwing with him because he's a catcher.
Oh, that's
So
perfect. You have your own
yeah,
own bullpen catcher right there.
yeah, it was perfect. So quarantine was good for me on the side of baseball.
Awesome. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Is there a skill set that you think you improved on the most? Like, was there something back in March that, you can definitively say from March to now, you're 100% better in like there's a certain aspect that you're better at.
Yeah, I would say fitness, and like mobility. I was always I went into college at about like 185 in weight, and then I got up to 220 as of last year,
Okay.
putting on trying to put on weight, but not necessarily. I didn't have all the best weight, so I lost a little bit of mobility. So what I did during quarantine was try to lose all the fat, and I went down. I was at 200 at some point. Like I would say 3 weeks in, I lost all the way down to 200. I was running a bunch, and then right now I'm back up to 218, like feeling strong, moving better. And so I'm looking forward to just carrying that on because it's definitely helping with my baseball for sure.
That's good to hear. That's a great thing to hear, especially when we see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Same thing. He's building up, getting stronger. It'll be exciting to see what he does as well as you. Feeling stronger. I mean, as a baseball player, sometimes the feels are everything. It's all about how you're feeling on a given day. So if you're
Yeah.
feeling ready and you're feeling strong, then chances are you're probably going to do really well.
Especially with the double header Saturdays that we're going to have, 18 innings, you got to be fit. You got to be feeling good because 18 innings is a long time.
It is right, and
Yeah.
all those at bats, all the to be mentally prepared. Mental preparedness is always, I feel like, the hardest. The physical preparedness is at least something you can work on.
Yeah.
Mentally, though, sometimes it's hard for those guys. But yeah, like you just said, yeah, you got to be prepared. 18 innings of baseball is a long time. It could be extras depending on how that game goes. So you're ready to
Exactly.
go. We're excited to see you on the field this year.
Yeah. Thank you. Excited to see you guys out there. Hopefully we can get some fans out there. Hopefully everything clears up after this, into the new year.
Yeah, I think I hope so too. I hope that brings a greater appreciation to especially any sports, but particularly the sport of baseball. Sometimes the absence of something means people want it even more. So I'm excited to hopefully go back and to Tony Gwynn Stadium and see you guys play this year. One last thing, do you have anything you want to add for the listeners that'll be watching this?
No, just looking forward to a great year for the SDSU Aztecs. We have a great team this year, a boatload of pitching. Our pitching staff is going to be awesome for us, and we have a lot of returning hitters. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to a great year. I think this is the year for us to make a good run.
I agree. We'll see you hopefully in Omaha come June, July, around that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much for your time today, Brian. I really appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the team this season. Keep working and go Aztecs.